Hello, welcome to the RET podcast. I'm your host, Adamonator, as per usual, and I am joined by Dizzle. How are you doing, Dizzle?
That's Yodizzle, and I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good, yo, Dizzle. We got a special podcast today. Not only are we doing this in the stage VC, where people can ask us questions and if you ever want to join us, join the Discord. We'll do podcast episodes like this in the future. But we are also joined by BioRoxas. Hello.
Hi, yeah. Good to be here. Thanks for the invite. I'm super excited.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. We'll start with our usual first question that we ask people who join the podcast. How did you get into Kingdom Hearts?
Ooh, okay. So my older brother loved Kingdom Hearts. So he for my first memory, I can just remember in our little game shelf that we had Kingdom Hearts 1 up there. So it's always been a core part of life. We'd always play together. And we didn't have a memory card when we were super young. So we would literally, for both our PS2 and our GameCube, I have, I guess you'd call them fond memories, but I just have memories of playing a game and going as far as I could, right? Because we'd only be allowed to play on the weekends.
No.
So we would leave it on the weekend and try to get through as much of the game as we could. So Traverse Town, Wonderlands, and Deep Jungle, I have played so many times that I'm sick of it.
You know them like the back of your hand.
Yeah.
So weirdly enough, you're not the first person on our podcast who has done that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
I feel like it's a very shared experience where your parents don't really know too much about video games, right? So they're like, "Oh yeah, whatever. We'll buy you guys a console," and then you're like, "Dad, I need to save it," and they're like, "Back in my day, it's saved in the cartridge. I'm not gonna go buy another thing for it." So just like, oh man.
Yeah, no, I mean,
how the tables are turned.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised that you wouldn't have got it because the memory cards weren't exactly expensive. What, a couple of quid?
I don't know. Oh yeah, the quid that I use. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, British.
Well, I feel like I feel like the GameCube and the PS2 we got were given to us because I didn't grow up super rich.
Right.
So we got other people's systems or someone gift. I think my grandparents for Christmas bought us a GameCube, and my parents were like, "I'm not buying you anything."
What evil person gifted you a PlayStation without a memory card?
That's a good point.
They're like, I want to save the memory card, but you can have the PlayStation part.
Yeah.
What?
No, I was
good times.
I was the same with I guess you guys would call it the Sega Genesis. We called it the Mega Drive in the UK.
What?
Yeah, had a completely different name. But yeah, no, that was my dad's hand-me-down console, and I just have this fond memory of my dad complaining because he could never beat the original Sonic the Hedgehog, and within a month of me getting that thing, I completed it twice over.
Oh wow!
Sonic the Hedgehog. That used to be
I played that on Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on Genesis as well when I was a kid, but I sucked
There was
at
the
it.
Sonic and Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles where you had the Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Where was it? Sonic and Knuckles pack. Anyways, one of them
the
you
lock
swapped
on.
into the Genesis. Yeah, and then you slapped the other one on top, and you got a whole extra set of Chaos Emeralds to get. God, that was so cool, man.
Yeah, I haven't played any Sonic except for 2 as a kid, so
really,
I have no idea.
I think I played them all up until the GameCube. Let me see. What was the last GameCube? Sonic Adventure 2, maybe, or maybe. Oh no! There was some Wii titles. There was the Sonic Rider game, and then there was one Sonic Zero G for the Wii. And then there was Sonic. What was the Werehog one? Unleashed.
What?
Yeah.
Werehog?
Do you not know the Werehog one?
Oh my god! Yeah, good times.
The Sonic I remember is he's just like spinning through some grass and like a factory, and then you like died underwater. And there was a cool casino.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Well,
Tails was there sometimes.
Sonic Unleashed.
Sonic Adventure 2.
Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say the dying underwater in Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was also a shared cultural experience. I think.
Yeah.
What's that area called? Hydro City or Hydrocity? I don't know what the.
I call it Hydro City, the one in 3.
I did too.
Oh.
I just remember the drowning music.
No, that's 3, isn't it? What's the? There's a water area in 2 that's just like horrible.
Chemical plant.
I just remember drowning and that awful music.
Yes, and the stupid. Yeah, because you had to like jump on the blocks and they'd slowly turn. I died there so many times.
Yeah. How did we get out to Sonic the Hedgehog?
I don't know.
Okay, so which Sonic the Hedgehog level would you want in Kingdom Hearts? Actually, there is something we would like to talk about. So, this is... we're recording this on the 17th and the 18th, some people. And, like, 2 or 3 days ago, we received some... not massive news about Kingdom Hearts 4, but some news. The first in about 3 years. And we actually haven't had a chance to talk about this on our channel yet. Like, we never really felt the need to actually do anything. This is our first recording since that came out. And
are you talking about the fact that Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to have a telephone in it?
That is strange. Like, one of the images is that of a phone, which a lot of people have attributed to, I think it's a death phone or a ghost phone.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, they are.
You think Sora can use that phone?
I mean, anyone can use a phone.
Well, not Sora.
No, he can't computer.
Yeah, but...
He did struggle with that phone.
Oh no, it's Vanitas that can't tie his shoes. My bad, never mind.
Wait, what?
That's like a fandom thing. They say that Vanitas can't tie shoes, so that's why he always wears boots or something. There's like a whole thing about it.
I never even heard that. I mean, you hear some...
Maybe it's a Tumblr thing.
You do hear some strange stuff in the Kingdom Hearts community. I imagine you heard some weird stuff as well, Bio.
Yeah, occasionally. From time to time.
Yeah.
Sorry, we skipped a question, if you don't mind. BioRoxas, sir.
Yes.
What is your favorite Kingdom Hearts game?
My favorite Kingdom Hearts game.
I swear, if he says the VCast.
No. It's probably a toss-up between 2 and 3.
Okay.
I go back and forth between them because 2 just has like really fun combat. The way that they innovate a lot of the combat is just interesting. It's one of the few Kingdom Hearts games where like you're consistently kind of adding to your arsenal of attacks with either combo finishers or combo modifiers. The way that you interact with all of the drive forms also gives you like new movement abilities that can change up a little bit of combat, and so I really like that. KH3 has a lot of like creativity involved with the combat. You're always getting new form changes. They don't really change the flow of combat in the same way that KH2 did, but all of those like different animations are super unique, and I loved seeing all the different like situational attacks that would come out with the different form changes. Like I think the one that first comes to mind is the drill, right? If you're surrounded by enemies, it had a super unique attack where you'd thrust your drill into the ground, and then like all these drill bits would come out, but it would only happen if you were surrounded. It's like stuff like that's just so cool.
Well, I mean,
really
3 does implement adding magic mid combo. So you could do like a couple of attacks, magic, and then go back into your combo to do the finisher. I do feel that with the Keyblade transformations, they change the way your spells work. So, take the fire spell. The fire spell is a projectile in 3. But if you have the drill, it becomes the same as it is in Kingdom Hearts 2.
It
And what-
surrounds you, yeah.
Yeah, and if you're underwater, all the different spells have different effects as well. It's all
That is pretty
dependent on what your Keyblade looks like. Bear with me a second. Just close my window. I'm gonna edit this bit out because I've got some.
No, keep it in. This is great.
Some fucking
Keep it in.
yobbos just yelling outside my window.
I'm sorry. Some what? A yarbo?
Yobbo.
Yeah, spell that. I don't understand.
Yobba. Just basically some hooligans.
Yoba?
No. What?
Oh. What? YOBBA? That's what you said, right?
Oh, I'm gonna have to keep this bit in, aren't I?
No, I'm just trying to understand. This isn't a bit. I'm curious.
It's just a term that we'd use in the UK for someone who's a bit loud, someone who's like a bit obnoxious.
We call that in America. We call that someone with a small penis.
Oh.
Yep.
All right then.
I
Okay.
don't know if I
I'm
can
just saying.
correlate that. Sorry.
We actually have,
Minnesota thing, I guess.
we actually have a question in from Lag in the VC.
Hello,
He
Lag.
says, "How would you all want magic to be in Kingdom Hearts 4? Like any spells that you want to see, or
I'm always about like versatility. So
Hmm.
like I like how KH2 had a lot of different like types of attacks, right? KH1 did too as well. 3 kind of changed it back to like just a lot of projectiles.
yeah,
But like 2 you had like AoE stuff, you had like Blizzard was just a single projectile, but it would like travel through enemies. I think it did the same in KH1. But there was a time and like use for all of them, and so there was always room to customize your magic to give you a better edge in battle, or just like change up the flow. And so I think for 4, I would love to see more of like give us combat options. Let us
yeah.
customize, change things around.
So one system I would like them to revisit is actually the one from Days. So the Days system has each of the different spell levels do different things. So fire is a straight projectile that slightly homes. Fire has a sharper homing effect to it.
Oh,
And Firaga is the same as Fyra, but has an explosion, so it has an area of effect. And each of the different spells had all these different effects.
So you could like choose if you liked Fyra the best, even if you had access to Firaga, you could. Well, I guess you can do that anyway, but.
No, yeah, that was exactly it. It's sort of like if there are any situations where you needed to kill specific enemies, but couldn't kill the ones around it, you'd go for something like Fyra rather than Firaga. So leveling down your spells, like I think Kingdom Hearts 3 kind of has that. You can choose the lower level spells, but there's not really enough of a difference to warrant it. We do have.
I don't even know in KH2 and KH1. Can you even go down to lower levels?
No,
Or are you just like locked out?
1 and 2 locked you into the higher level.
Yeah.
I think I would like. I think it would be fun. I'm glad that they got rid of stop from Kingdom Hearts 1, but I think it would be fun to have something like gravity in which you can interact with the environment with your magic to get treasure chests and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some environmental things in 3, sort of, for like as like a things you can do for fun, like with Blizzard and stuff like that. But I think it'd be more fun, like, to have interactable things. Like progression, like how Merlin's house gets unlocked when you put fire on the door, or like the electricity thing that was like a bonus to get into the gizmo shop or whatever. Like, I think that sort of thing would be cool as far as magic goes.
Oh yeah, or like the treasure chests in Hollow Bastion, or opening any chests in Atlantica.
Or freezing the bubbles to get the extra treasure chest.
No.
You can freeze the bubbles in Hollow Bastion.
Holy crap.
Oh my.
Why is Ven in Silent Hill 2?
Huh?
What?
Sorry, I'm looking. I'm looking at the chat. I'm sorry.
Oh god.
Oh.
That's awesome. I love Silent Hill.
We do have another.
Who made that? That's awesome.
Silent Hill's
We
incredible.
do have.
He's in Sora's heart. Sorry, go ahead.
We do have another question regarding Missing Link. Would you guys play it if it was turned into a sort of PC and console MMORPG? Maybe kind of like Final Fantasy 14. I'm not gonna lie, no. I'm fully of the opinion that they should do what they did with back cover and just turn it into a movie. Like maybe like something to unlock when you beat Kingdom Hearts 4 or something.
Wait, but don't you kind of need that?
I don't know if you guys know
Kingdom
this.
Hearts 4? Oh, go ahead.
But I am a huge Final Fantasy 14 fan.
What?
You
No
really?
way. I've never heard of that. No, I'm just kidding. You have a second channel for that, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I need to post on it, but yeah, I do.
Oh, so
But would Missing Link be good as like a Final Fantasy 14-esque MMO? Like, is there enough there?
Well, wasn't Missing Link supposed to be like a Niantic Pokemon Go style,
Yeah.
like collectathon thing?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's enough similarities to warrant like turning it into a fully fledged RPG like 14. 14, let's face it, 14 is a fluke for Square Enix. They've not had a good history with like MMOs, and 14 is the one that really caught on.
Yeah.
To the point
I feel like
where-
Union Cross would be better as an MMORPG with all your
I think that would
Kingdom
be good.
Key kids that you make
Yeah.
and like that sort
God,
of thing.
that would've
I think that would fit it much
incredible.
better.
Yeah.
I'd
Let's
play that.
let's actually talk
Me
about
too.
your content. Like we sort of mentioned that with your second channel, but
Dabble.
yeah,
I make some stuff.
you dabble with content. I mean, you've got a
little.
channel. You've got a channel with over 50,000 subscribers, which is no small feat for a Kingdom Hearts
Right?
tuber.
No.
Which of your video like series do you enjoy making the most?
I love I love making the. Sorry, I just got completely distracted. I was like looking at my channel. It's like
You're fine.
I love making animation videos. Are just like super fun. Those are my favorite.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I also like recently been making final psychology videos,
Mhm.
which have
Yeah.
also been like super fun.
Yeah.
Those take a lot longer to produce and make, but I really like when I'm able to like put those together because I don't know, I find it's just like really satisfying to be able to connect a lot of like for those of you that don't know, I'm a clinical therapist IRL, so like I do a lot of therapy and like
Right.
I don't know.
So you're seeing
Uh,
this through a proper professional eye rather than
Exactly. Yeah. And
Rather
so
than,
like
like-
being able to use this.
rather than like a
to
Redditor
like-
therapist.
Yeah. And so like being able to like provide clinical knowledge in the background while also being like, hey, this is why you relate to this character and this is why you respond well or resonate is just really satisfying.
Yeah, that's
So.
that's kind of cool. I didn't realize that you had that background to the whole thing. So that does make a lot more sense. Like you do tend to get a lot of people that go like, "Oh, what if this character was actually depressed?" And it's like, like I understand where you're coming from, but the points you're making are very black and white about the whole thing. And then, I'll be perfectly honest, I haven't watched much of your psychology stuff, but knowing that you have this background, there isn't that black or white distinction between things. But thankfully, there is someone in this channel who has seen your stuff. I'll pass you over to Dizzle, who probably has some better questions for you.
Related but not related, do you ever read the comments on those videos? And if so, do you ever get like mansplainers that are like, actually, I believe that this psychology is totally wrong and you're fake? That sort of crap.
So I try really hard. I actually have a lot of like social anxiety, which people don't really usually don't expect. But so I get a lot of social anxiety, and so usually what'll happen is I'll put out a video and get like incredibly overwhelmed by the comments. So then I'll take a week or two before I actually like work up the nerve to like read through everything. So yeah,
Right.
I do try to keep up with my comments.
Yeah.
I'm not always able to like respond to everything, but usually every like 3 or 4 weeks I'll kind of like go through and like read everything and try to comment to stuff as best I can.
Yeah.
But typically I don't usually see people like actually a lot. Usually if they disagree, they're just like, I don't believe that. Like I don't think therapy, because a lot of people like don't like believe in therapy and stuff like that. So
Oh dear.
Yeah. That is a
which is
sad
fine.
reality. That
it's just a reality of
yeah.
the stigma sometimes around.
Well, isn't it? We tend not to get into the whole political stuff, but like, doesn't it stem from the whole Scientology stuff? Because they vehemently do not believe in therapy. I kind of feel like some of that might have bled into society.
I don't know. I wouldn't say it's like a political side per se. Because I think there are just some people that just don't like, either they've had bad experiences with counselors, and have just been like they just swear off, which I think is perfectly valid, because
Yeah.
there are some people that should not be therapists.
No, yeah, absolutely.
So like there are just some people that kind of like give therapy a bad name. There are people that want to like be a savior, right? And they treat therapy as like, I can fix you kind of thing.
Yeah.
When the reality is like therapy is more about creating insight and creating like understanding for yourself so that you can change.
Yeah.
And so I think that is mostly what I see is like people don't want to either like admit that they need help, and so they have this like aversion to therapy, or they had like horrible experiences.
Yeah. You do tend to get a lot of people who swear it off because they've tried it once and the person that they're with is just not good. It's why I'm grateful that I do live in the UK, because you're not tied to your therapist, which I feel like a lot of people in America feel like, oh, this is the person I've been assigned, this is the person I need to talk to. Whereas in the UK, you're very much encouraged, like, even by the therapist, is like if this is not working for you, you can have another therapist.
Yeah. That's what I usually tell my clients is like, if we don't fit, like your main goal in this therapy is to get help, right? Is to figure out yourself or figure out things. If that's not me, then like don't waste your time. Right? Like, I mean, not even like in a rude way. It's just like that, like if I'm not helping you, like then go find somebody that can help you, right? And I'd rather be able to help you find somebody than for you to like just like stick around because I don't know, you feel bad. Yeah,
no, that's pretty good. Let's tie this back to your actual content. So if I'm not mistaken, your most recent psychology one, you actually debuted at March Caprice this year.
Yeah, I was super happy to do that.
Psychology of Namine.
And people responded really well to that one.
Yeah,
it was a super heavy. Sorry, I keep interrupting you. Please go ahead. I'm so sorry.
No, I was sniffling.
Oh, okay. No, people responded really well to that one. I was a little nervous about the reception because a lot of it was kind of focused on the abuse and kind of gaslighting that she experiences throughout. And so I was super nervous about the reception to it. And because of that, right, like it's not gotten as many views as like a Sora or a Riku video.
Of course.
I suppose
it's just natural. But the people that have watched it have responded really well, and I'm super happy with that.
No, going back to March Caprice, there was actually a lot of people that did videos like that. I think 3 of my favorites were actually your Psychology of Namine video, Dizzle's translation video, which is basically the same as our thing but done properly.
Oh,
And
Right.
the other one that I liked was, shout out to Mistress Dove, who did an analysis,
yeah.
an analysis of Xion through the eyes of the trans community, which
That was really good.
I really liked that one because when like I did mention this earlier, but like there's a lot of people who, when they make these sort of videos, they'll twist the words that have been said to try and fit their narrative. And what they did for their video was they took everything that was mentioned about Xion and said, this fits the narrative, I'm going to use it, but also acknowledges anything that does detract from it. So it's not like I said, it's not black and white. And I feel like your video also did a similar thing, but with the psychology side of it, you can't really do the psychological side of it because you don't really get that many internal monologues from people. So you have to go based on how they act and how they talk and how they interact with people. So I feel like your video did have that sort of flexibility to it.
Yeah, it's a fun little exercise too for me to like be able to kind of keep flexing some of my clinical knowledge and clinical assessment skills. So it's kind of like a fun little exercise.
Yeah. Is there maybe anyone else that you're working on right now?
Yeah, the next one that will come out will be on Kyrie. So I'll do Psychology of Kyrie, which I'm super excited for. I have kind of stalled a little bit. I just recently like shifted jobs.
Of course.
And so taking a little bit of time to get acclimated and getting back into the swing of things. But yeah, Psychology of Kyrie will be next. Kind of the roadmap that I have in my mind right now is Psychology of Kyrie, Psychology of Xion, Psychology of Ventus, and then probably Axel from there.
Yeah. Well, whichever one does come first, we'll link it in the description. So if you don't see it in the description right now, it's because it's not been made.
Yeah, it will not be. Yeah, no, it'll be a while.
Eventually we'll
while, yeah.
hopefully see it. So we'll see that in the description.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So your Ventus one, are you also including are you just doing BBS and Kingdom Hearts 3 Ventus, or are you going all the way back to Kingdom Hearts Unchained?
Yeah, it'll be all of them. Ideally.
That is interesting because there is that distinct split. It's whether or not he remembers his time in the past, because Laurie and Marluxia kind of feel like he does. Same with Arena Loxine. But Ventus very much feels like he doesn't remember, but he may remember because of the Chirithy, but it's very weird.
Well, there's the Chirithy thing. There's also like he makes this comment in the Keyblade Graveyard of like it's the what does he say? He says he acknowledges the Keyblades that spawn that Sora uses at the end.
I'll have to relook at that.
I will have to.
He calls it like it's the light of the past or something.
Which
maybe is just
3,
him. Yeah, which maybe is just him like being like, oh hey, it's light and it's past Keyblade wielders. But I don't know. Part of me thinks that he definitely has some kind of memory of what's happened when he wakes up in Cage 3.
That's certainly
I guess we'll have to find out.
Stay tuned for BioRoxas' next video.
In 4 years.
Regarding
Wait, I got another question.
Oh, go
on. Thank you. So, my last BioRoxas psychology video I watched was actually Xehanort's, because I realized I accidentally skipped it. And you had some really cool, like in between what you were talking about, there was like this really cool, like animations, I guess you would call them, in the background. Did you make those?
For the Xehanort video?
Yeah.
No, that was created by Sunny Novus. Sunny Novus is another like fellow content creator on YouTube. He makes phenomenal video essays. I was talking to him.
I feel like I've seen the name before. Has he done stuff for March Caprice as well?
He did one for March
Yeah.
Caprice this year. Yeah.
Yeah,
He did last year too about
I
Nominate.
remember the name.
Yeah. So he's incredible. But I had been talking to him about making, like, I was just kind of stuck with the Xehanort video because I was like, I want there to be like some kind of transition between these talking points, and I wanted to like show the journey from his younger years to his older years, and I wanted it to like encircle his idea of like the Child of Destiny and how he thought he was the one to sit on that throne. And then Sunny was just like, oh, well, like, here's a mock-up but in Blender. And I was like, okay.
Oh, that's how he makes it.
Yeah, so I think he uses Blender to make all that, but it was, yeah, incredible.
Yeah, I was, it did make me think of him because it's weird to maybe call it an art style, but I was like, gosh, this style of animation looks so familiar. I was like, maybe
like,
they use the same program. I don't know.
He's incredible. Yeah, he does some really good work.
There is a not a question, but a message from Venny, who is in the audience right now. I don't know if Bio is reading the chat, but I'm really looking forward to the psychology of Ventus, and if there's ever one for Vanitas. They are my favourites. You can ask Mimu, who's also in the audience. I will not shut up about them. I do deep dives into their characters and struggles so much. Ha 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 ha.
Well, I think I follow you on Twitter. I think.
Yeah, Venny is an artist. They actually did our banner art for free, which was awesome.
Ruben, yes, yeah, I know you. There was this incredible like Ventus piece that you did. I don't know if I can find it now on your page, but yeah, no.
I think some of their stuff is actually in our advertisements channel. Some of their, was it advertisements? No, it's in a creativity corner. Some of their most recent artwork, which I loved. I loved their
yeah,
their
the one
Riku
with Ben holding like his younger self or something. Like that's just
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Actually, because you're in the chat, Ven, would you mind if I displayed one of your artworks on stream? Not on stream, on the video. Let's see if we can get live permission. Thank you very much.
Heck yeah.
We'll probably show the Riku one that I mentioned. But yeah, it's really, really cool. Venny does amazing work.
Yeah, I'm conflicted if I want to do one separate for Vanitas or if I want to add that into like the Ventus video to do some kind of like contrast between the two.
So speaking of Vanitas, because I feel like a lot of what people like about him as far as like character depth goes, like ever since I read the Birth by Sleep novels, even though they're technically not canon, like it gave me a brand new perspective about like how he's feeling and how he thinks. Are you using only the games, or have you delved into any of the novels?
So I used the novel for I think the Riku psychology video as well as the psychology of Aqua. I actually had somebody voice act the lines that were different in the psychology of Aqua. I got a little conflicted after that because while some of it lined up, some of it didn't line up. And so yeah, it's really tough because I want to use like separate like supplemental material, but sometimes it's hard to tell like, okay, what is this like? Is this like adding on to it, or is this like creating your own idea of who you think this person is? And so I wanted to be careful about how I use that stuff.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could have like two branches. Like if we consider, I don't know, novel Vanitas, then it feels more like this. But if you take that out, then it is more like this. Or I mean, that makes it a little bit more complicated, but I think it's interesting.
Yeah. Well, and I remember seeing some of the passages for Vanitas, because I think the novel really hones in on the pain that Vanitas feels. Because I think even like from the moment that he's born, he's like in agony or something. There's a very specific line I remember about Vanitas where it was something about like he's born through pain or born. I'm sure Benny knows better than I do. But there was a very like distinct look into how he feels, and like the experience that he has even from the start of his existence, which I think is so interesting, right? Because it's like, okay, well, at first we thought this was part of Ven's darkness, but it's like, no, this is one of the darknesses of old, and so that's where part of my conflicted feelings come into play. Of like, I don't know if I'm gonna have that as part of Ventus,
right? Because it's more like a retcon at that point, maybe.
Right? It's like
unless they work it in, as they do.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so confusing because it's like, okay, so what does that mean about Sora then? Because Cage 3, right, is still like that's the most recent canon that we have almost.
Yeah.
And the fact that like we finally get this interaction between all three, and you're like, you have Vanitas saying like, I look like you, of course, because like we both filled the part of Ven that was missing. And it's like, okay, well, then if we get into Dark Road, which is not that far, like that's not that far away from the development of Cage 3, you're implying that Vanitas is this like latent old darkness, like one of the original darknesses. So it's like, okay, well, so what does that imply about Sora and the light that he holds?
Well, I mean, I see it as, how when Xion was first created, she didn't have a face to anyone. It wasn't until she started to steal the memories from Sora, through Roxas, that she started to gain a face. For Roxas, she looked like a black-haired Kyrie. For Axel, still didn't have a face. For Zigbar, looked like Ventus. It might be a similar thing to Vanitas, where the reason Vanitas looks like a black-haired Sora is because Ventus, after his heart just got obliterated, made contact with the actual Sora, and it wasn't until that actual interaction happened, it's when Vanitas gained a face. Because that whole thing didn't take that long to happen, because Xehanort extracted the darkness, and then almost immediately Ventus's heart made contact with Sora when he was trying to dispose of Ventus. So
that is true.
It could just be,
I think it still is like, oh, sorry.
It could just be that interaction that caused his face to look like it does.
I think my question still is though, like, why is Sora connected to that darkness? Like, why wouldn't he just look like Vanitas if it was like a thing of like being connected to Ven's heart?
Well, I mean,
rephrase your question. I don't quite understand.
So like, why would Vanitas be formless until like Sora is the one that takes over that piece in the heart?
Honestly,
I kind of figured it was because Ventus. I mean, we don't know for sure, but I had assumed that he didn't have any memories when Xehanort found him, and so his only connection was to Xehanort, and Sora being the second being he ever encounters, and a being that fuses with his heart, of which his heart is still probably connected to Vanitas. I feel like that's a super duper strong, connection that more strong than any other connection Ventus would even have with anyone at that point, with the way his memory is,
Or I mean, long story short, it could just be Tetsuya Nomura wanted black-haired evil Sora.
Yeah,
that literally could just be it, and he fumbled his way through the story. He's like, yeah, this makes sense. I mean,
could be, I suppose.
For sure.
Nomura is not unknown to retcon stuff. Like half of Kingdom Hearts 1 is retconned.
No, it's not. Oh no, we're not gonna have a whole podcast about this. I'll just skip it. I'll skip it.
Another time.
What do you think? Do you think KH1 is retconned?
There's a lot of stuff about the Keyblade that I feel is retconned. But I do think that actually, I think Dizzle makes this a good point in one of their videos.
Yeah, I'll in one of my next translation video, one of those. I feel like one of those points was the whole there can't be more than one Keyblade Master. Q 700 more Keyblade Masters, but that's not the original line anyway. In Japanese, they translated it badly, so like that point's moot.
Yeah. Kmaybe I'm just stupid or wrong.
So no. Don't say that. Don't say that.
Yeah.
I think what Kingdom Hearts does really well is throughout a lot of their games, they write their characters with the ability to either be wrong and ignorant and talk and say things that they don't know anything about, right? Because like Riku talking about Keyblade and Keyblade Masters, he has no idea what he's talking about, right? He has no idea of the Keyblade legacy, and so when he makes these comments,
that is a good point.
It's almost like Maleficent. It's almost like because Maleficent was there during the age of Birth by Sleep and the age of fairy tales, right? It's almost like she pitted Sora and Riku against each other, right? Mm-hmm. She played off of that, Riku is a stronger fighter, and planted that seed of there's only one person that can have this Keyblade, right?
Right.
And so that's, to me, that's where that ignorance comes into play of Riku has no idea what he's talking about. There's some other cutscenes I can't think of off the top of my head where there's a character that's Xemnas and all of the stuff around the Organization 13 and Hearts, where even in Kingdom Hearts 2 it's very, very apparent that these characters have hearts, right? That they have feeling, even though they say I'm not supposed to have feeling, right? And then you play Days and you hear that Xemnas has been telling us, right? All of our information comes from Xemnas.
Oh yeah.
Who we know is Xehanort and has studied hearts and understands nobody's. And so he puts this idea in their head of don't even try to think about hearts, right? Because you don't have a heart.
Yeah.
And because if they do, right, if they realize, then they would return back to their somebody, I think. I can't remember. But there's
because he wouldn't work for Xemnas anymore because they want to complete Kingdom Hearts to get hearts.
Exactly.
So if they already have hearts, why would they bother?
Exactly.
Maybe this is another psychology of the organization video.
Yeah, right.
The whole organization all at once.
Well, no, I
I love the ignorance and the naivety that can be shown through the writing of. There's this character that's saying something that we find out is wrong. They just don't realize it's wrong at the time.
Yeah, that's fair. Is there something else we should talk about? We're talking a lot about psychology today. I realized that
there's a couple of questions.
Are there? Do you want to read the question?
They're one further back. Hang on. I got you, Vinny. Hang on.
Curious, what do you think about that? Vanitas being one of the true darknesses. Yeah, I'm super interested to see how they play with that. Cause...
I mean, hang on. So if I remember right, the true darknesses there were 13, aren't there?
Were there? I thought there were only.
Because there's the location. The locations of them right now are there's one of the 5. There's 5 in each of the 5 foretellers. There's one in Luju. And there's one in the Master of Masters. That's 7. Then there's 6 more in other places. There's 4 that are trapped in the datascape with player character who sacrificed himself. There's one in Ventus, who then may or may not be Vanitas. And then there's one more missing, who I don't know where they could be. I mean, my money's on Maleficent, because there is a darkness that interacted with Maleficent. and taught her how to time travel.
Hmm.
So
Could be. There is. Let me see. I know in Dark Road they walk through all of them and where they're at.
Oh, really?
they?
I missed that.
I missed that as well.
Yeah, it's one of those ending scenes where like it jumps forward to Vanitas and Xehanort discussing.
Yes, I do remember that actually.
Here it is.
It's the bit after Master Xehanort has started to manipulate the events of Birth by Sleep, right?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's as he's walking away, I think, after he dropped off Ben.
Mm.
And they talk through. Let me pull up the cutscenes. Yeah, so there's 1, 2, 3, 7 in them. And then 4 were imprisoned by Keyblade wielders in the world comprised of data.
Yeah.
So that's what, 7, 11. And 2 were just destroyed when the world collapsed.
Oh.
But we know
one-
that's not true because one of them's Vanitas, right?
Yep.
Oh.
So it could, so that last one could be somewhere else. Maybe Skuld. If Skuld is our subject X.
Mm-hmm. Could be.
The point is, there's an unaccounted for darkness somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Vanitas, we're fairly sure, is one of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
But we're still missing one. My money's on Maleficent. I'm hoping that Maleficent and Pete actually do something more interesting. It does. You know what it is, and it's the fact that in the first Kingdom Hearts game, Maleficent is evil. Like, she is straight up evil. Like, she does the bad things and is the bad person until Ansem turns out to be the actual bad person.
Mm-hmm.
What stops her being evil is being stabbed in the heart by Riku. She turns into a dragon, gets killed. And then as soon as she's revived in Kingdom Hearts 2, everything she does from that point on it's kind of like Saturday morning cartoon villainy. It's sort of like, oh, I'm going to steal this book, or oh, I'm going to take over a castle. It's like,
I don't think being associated with Pete helps.
it does.
Oh my gosh.
It really doesn't.
Psychology of Maleficent. When?
The psychology of Maleficent would be hilariously bad. Maybe that should be an April Fool's video.
No, that'd be a psychology of Pete. Although, all of it could be interesting. I don't know.
I mean, with Bio using his knowledge with psychology as a front for not as a front, as a basis for his psychology videos, I should do the same with my career. I am a semi-professionally trained chef. Maybe I should psychoanalyze all of the recipes in.
That'd be actually really funny. You should, yeah. Like, are these actually viable?
I did notice that actually. There are some recipes that just okay. If you do add some more, do add some more ingredients, they make the meals that they're trying to make. But like half of them use ingredients that aren't in the meals. Like, I'm fairly sure
that'd be a really interesting video. Like, as a professional chef analyzes Kingdom Hearts 3 cooking.
That'd be awesome.
It would be.
I work at a real estate office. I don't know what I could do.
But the only thing I could base it on is the actual ingredients that you need to collect to make the meals. Because if you just base it on the meals themselves, of course they're meals because they're based on real meals. Maybe your real estate thing could be, how can the people of Twilight Town actually afford where to live?
Oh man. Well, especially only getting 30 monies for hitting a ball or whatever. I don't know their system.
That is actually a good point. We should try and figure out the conversion rate from money to dollars.
I know some people said it's just yen, but I'm like, I don't know.
It's not that simple. There's something about it. It's like, it can't just be like, oh, 200 money is 200 yen, because sure, that would account for a $2,000 money burger being actually $20, which is like a 2,000 yen, which is about $20. Okay, that kind of makes sense.
Right. Okay.
But you're then saying if that's the conversion rate, it's $2 for medicine to bring you back to life.
If they got a
Right.
plenty of ingredients, then that means the prices go down. It's basic economics or whatever.
I think Pat did a video on the economy of Kingdom Hearts, didn't he?
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
I think our hour is almost up. I have one more super important question
Sure.
for BioRoxas. So I'm assuming perhaps your real quote unquote job is perhaps a full-time job.
Mhm.
But like you also stream, you also make videos. I believe you have like a child and perhaps a
Two.
family.
Two
Two
Yeah.
actual kids.
Two.
Two. How do you I mean I'm guessing having a background in psychology can help with your mental stress of like work-life balance and keeping yourself happy with all this stuff going on, but how do you do time management with all this stuff you do?
That's a good question. I think before, when I like first got my start online, I was in a master's program and working full time and doing an internship, and
Holy crap.
we had our first kid. So like I had to be just intentional with the time that I had. But like at that point, like it was super unhealthy because like I didn't see like friends, I didn't see family. Like I was just working like around the clock, right? I would go to work, I would go to my internship, I'd get home, talk to my wife a little bit, and then like work in because we were in a 1-bedroom apartment, so it was super small. So we would
Right.
like watch a TV show while I scripted a video, I edited something, and I'd be up till like 2 a.m. trying to get the edits done for the video to post tomorrow. So it was all very much like I I didn't make enough money at my other job. So it was like kind of like I need extra income. So it was also like a thing of like I just have to get it done if I want to keep making my bills.
Right.
So at this point, YouTube and streaming is such like a back burner thing. I do it when I can and I enjoy it still. I'm super passionate about it, but it's like one of those things of I have to have some kind of like downtime. So I play like 14 or Marvel Rivals. Like I want to have a relationship with my family, right? Make time for that. So it's very much like, I mean, if you look at my channel now, right, like I've lost a lot of traction because I put out a video like once a month, maybe.
Yeah. I mean,
See,
so
that feels
it's
like
like-
a lot to me still.
saying that, like, we don't post often. Like, we probably only post maybe once a month as well. But your videos are significantly better quality than ours. Like, I literally just uploaded a video. It's a 30-second long video of Roxas holding a seashell to his ear while Scatman John goes skibidi-bidi through it. Like, that is the entire video.
That's high quality content, sir.
It's high quality.
So
shit
I mean,
posting.
if you look at my videos, like I don't think they're like super well edited, right? Because for a lot of like what I talk about, especially like the psychology videos, for the most part, I'm using cutscenes that like just prove my point, right? For my breakdown, those were especially easy to produce because I take like 15 minutes of footage, right, for all the attack animations, and then I just slow them down and talk about them, right? So there's not like any like extra editing that I do for that. It's just like, okay, I'm gonna like list out what is going on. I'm gonna show this off, but like the actual editing for that's not terrible, right?
Yeah.
And so like it was just a format that works. And yeah, and I mean everyone's editing style is different. I don't think you should put yourself down.
Oh, of course.
So
for the type of videos that you make.
How many hours or even lower if needed minutes do you work on video editing and videos in general, like in a week?
Let's see. It's very much like, okay, so actually funny story. So I had training all this week, right? So I didn't have access to a computer. My new job, I actually can't like use my phone. I had to leave my phone in the car. And so during the training, I grabbed some copy paper and wrote out like half of a script. right? So
Damn.
then I could come home and like type that up on my like Google Docs and
Your
like
hand
get the
must
editing.
hurt.
But like so like stuff like that where I don't typically have a ton of dedicated time to just like sitting down and doing something. Like maybe in the evening I have like an hour where I can like sit down and like script or edit something or get footage. Usually it's like in blocks, right? So like
Yeah.
Monday night I'll try to like sit down and record data battle footage for 30 minutes. Or like once I'm done with that, I'll try to like get all the animations split up. Actually I have it up right now in front of me because I was editing before we talked, but here I'll put it in the stage VC. But like the way that I do it right is like I clip up all the different animations so I can just look at them all and see if there's any variation, and then I'll type that up, right? So that's the next step. And then the next night I might try to type out everything that I need for the animation breakdown. If I do it fast enough, then I can record the audio for that, and then the next step is like the next night, if I have an hour, I'll put that into the project, cut up all the audio, and then when I have time, I'll start lining up the audio with the video. And then usually by that time, I'm have enough like frames that I have enough things for a thumbnail, and I slam it all together and upload it. So it's all like kind of just pick out of the way every little chunk.
Fair enough.
I found that if I like just waited for there to be free time to work on a project, I will never get it done. So it's a lot of just like finding time where you can.
What what video editing program do you use? Just curious off your screenshot.
Premiere Pro.
Oh, Premiere. Okay, gotcha.
I use DaVinci Resolve. Anyway, we'll start to wrap the episode up. While I go through everything, we like to do a thing at the end of our podcast called naming the episode within the episode. And if you have any ideas, Bio, feel free to tell us later. If any suggestions from the audience, feel free to tell them in the stage VC.
The psychology of BioRoxas.
While people come up with ideas, Bio, do you have anything you want to plug?
Follow me on Twitch. I'm playing Devil May Cry right now, which is a little bit different than Kingdom Hearts, but I always like to stream some fun games alongside like a Kingdom Hearts playthrough. So we just finished up Kingdom Hearts 1 Only Magic Run, so we'll be doing Chain of Memories soon. So yeah, follow me on YouTube. I make videos sometimes once every 3 months.
Not a problem. The link to that is in the description, along with Bio's YouTube channel, probably to his Psychology of Naminé video. That is definitely a fantastic video to watch. Let's see if we have any title suggestions. Psychology of Bio is not a bad idea.
What's that called? When you have like a title that's not actually what the video was about. What's that called again?
Clickbait.
Clickbait, yeah, clickbait.
We just call it clickbait.
We're using BioRoxas as clickbait. Click here.
To be fair, Bio's name is going to be in the title anyway because it'll be featuring Bios.
BioRoxas clickbait featuring BioRoxas.
Yeah, not clickbait. I love that.
I really like that too.
I'm sure I'll grab something. Hang on, summoning BioRoxas at 3 a.m. not clickbait.
What time is it in your time zone, Adam?
It's
got to be close.
1:30.
Yeah, 1:30. Let's do it.
Anyway, it's been great having you, Bio. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate
your precious little free time for us.
Yeah. So
I was glad to make it happen.
If you've reached the end of the video, everything is in the description to Bio stuff. There's also our Discord, which is free to join. You can join us for other stage VCs like this if you want to join us for other podcasts in the future. Thank you again, and take care.
Bye.
Bye.